It could give him a worse hand, but it could also give him a better hand. But as you said, Taj, he's done a lot of searching, so all those pieces that he's took are now back in the deck.
Yeah, exactly. And I think having looked at that trash as well, just seeing, do you have the elder pieces that you need in that trash or not? So again, that can influence your decision whether to play a pudding or not, because if there aren't many of those pieces in there, again, the disruption of doing this could make it a bit harder for you to, if you had them in hand, to get those pieces in that in your trash.
And here we see him going down to 2 life on his 7 Don turn. This is huge because at next turn, when Moltres goes to 8, if he can play out I Am Whitebeard, he can do, if Marco stays on the board, 2 6/6 swings with the pudding and the Marco, because attaching 2 Don from Blockerbeard, and an 8k from Ace. Just applying more pressure. Really, what Moltres needs to do to secure him the win today.
Yeah, this is why it just goes to show against IMU, if you are an ace player, going second makes such a big difference, especially if you're finding all the pieces that you need. Dan now has to come up with something on this 9 Don turn. Is he on 9 Don or 10? I'm not too sure, actually.
He should be on 7.
7, sorry, yeah. He's got his Don there on the side, which is flipped up the wrong way, which is making me a little bit confused. So he is on the 7 Don turn. So the 6k attack is counted out with the 1k Jozu.
Do we see a Mars coming down this turn to get rid of that Marco? Yes, it would fill Moltres' hand, but it would remove a swing that Dan would have to deal with next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are we going to see here? We're going to see a 7k swing coming in by the looks of it. 2 Don looking like it's being committed here, but no. Second thoughts. Just a 6. Yep. 6k swing coming in now. Again, it was pointed in that rough direction of Marco or Ace, so not sure whether it's into the Marco or the Ace. Either way, 1k counter will be enough for leader effect.
We will see. And it's countered. But this is once again, it's a now does he have the Mars? And this is the sometimes players go, well, why didn't you just let it go? He does have the Mars, but this is the reason. If he didn't, Moltres keeps that body on board. He still gains 3 from just using 1 a minute ago to counter. So even though you took 1 out of hand, you've replenished with 2 more because you've negged 1 from the counter. So it's a very smart play.
Absolutely. Dan now still has 2 Don open, just deciding whether to pass the turn here or not. And he does pass his turn back over to Moltres now, who will be on the 8 Don turn. And as we were saying, this is where we can see I Am Whitebeard being played, which is right at the front of his hand there. Ready to play out one of the Whitebeards.
Very much so. I presume we will see Blockerbeard first.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
It just gives you so much value, you know. Draw 2, trash 1, attach 2 Don to leader and to an opponent, like one of your characters, sorry. Like suddenly that pudding's a viable swing. It gives you the second part of your leader ability on your opponent's turn. Is a very strong card. Very, very strong card.
Absolutely. So 2 Don on those. Decides not to take the life to bolster that leader up. Doesn't feel it's necessary at this particular point of the game.
But this is the difference between going first and second, right, Taj? You don't need it at the moment.
Yeah. So it does
Still
pass
healthy.
back over now. Yeah, 9 on turn for Dan now. Can't activate that 5 elders just yet. But if you can get a Jupiter on board here, that could help to pose a little bit of pressure on that 6k leader. As we say, chose not to activate second part of Iron Whitebeard to be able to make it an 8k leader, so can apply a bit of pressure. But let's see what Dan does here. Starting off with a 6k swing into life. This one's taken. Draws a card. So strong, isn't it? I mean, you're taking a life, but you're drawing a card. So that's 2 card advantage into hand. Your hand
So
suddenly
strong.
just fills up so quickly, doesn't it? It's
You sometimes playing into it, it feels like they've got a little book in their hands when you look over at an ace player with the amount of cards they have.
absolutely, it does get so thick, and you're like, how on earth did you, from right, you had 4 cards a minute ago, now how come you've ended up with so many? And it's just, yeah, so many ways to draw cards with this particular deck. We do have just over 23 minutes left on the clock. We are in game 2. Dan is 1 game up, but it does look like Moltres has got the upper hand here in game 2, having played everything on curve.
Does apply real pressure to Dan 9 here.
Yeah, absolutely. What's he going to choose to do here?
Just weighing up, bear in mind, as we said, that pudding that's sitting there on board rested really put a spanner in his works. I'm sure, he did all those early searches. He may not have had the cards now that he would have liked for this turn, because I'm sure these players are already thinking several steps ahead when they're making these searches. So
Yeah.
having to adjust that game plan, just taking time, having a think, what's ideal here. Let me see the War Curry come down.
Yep.
As we've said over the 2 days, fantastic blocker. Block and get you a draw 1 on KO. Brilliant card.
Absolutely. Leader effect. Shalria being trashed from hand to draw a card. And he just passes over. There were a couple of elders there that could have potentially been used to attack, but chose not to.
The issue is hard playing out.
Yep.
With only 1 Don left. Only one of them is going to be able to swing into the 6k leader.
Yeah.
It becomes tough. Whereas next turn, with them staying active now, Moltres can't swing into them. So before Dan 9 plays a 5 Elders next turn, they could become useful.
Yeah,
In that
absolutely.
sense.
So we do see the 10 cost Whitebeard being hard played. So all Don used to play it. Leader will stay at 6k, but does get 2 rested on underneath it, as well as underneath that pudding, which again is going to apply pressure again this turn.
Do we see that initial Whitebeard from last turn turning sideways this turn, Taj?
Yeah.
That is my question.
Yeah, we are. Looks like we are going to. Oh, maybe not.
It's very telling because I think it's a good turn to turn sideways. Yes, he has 1 Don up, but it could force the blocker out of hand. He's at 1 life, so you pressuring now, Emu, of I'm going to swing at you. It's hard when you're sitting at 3 life, as we spoke about yesterday. The Emu player can say, "Yeah, I'll take that life and go down to 2 because I know I've got several rounds of blockers coming up."
Yeah,
But when you're at
exactly.
1, you don't have that privilege.
Yep. But decided not to swing with it. And we are now with Dan 9, our Emu player, with 3 swings potentially coming in here. But starting off with a swing into pudding. That pudding finally goes after doing such good work. 1 resetting the hand, but they're getting a couple of swings in as well in the last 2 turns. We do see a 6k swing coming in now with Saturn.
What does Moltres do here?
Does decide to counter with the Yamato. We're going to see another 6k swing coming in here.
Do we see the early block?
Yeah. Nope. Jozu used to counter that one. Another 6k swing coming in with leader this time. We're going to see a block here, or are we going to see another card being used to counter? Don't think he's fired off leader effect yet either. This one will be blocked. Okay, digging for more pieces. So, that Saturn was used to draw a card. We do see 5 Elders coming out now. Resting the 3 Don and the stage.
Are any of us shocked?
No, I don't think we are.
Unless you're brand new and you've just tuned in, this is what you should see every time IMU hits
Exactly.
10 Dom for the first time.
Yep. Judge just stating, oh, you've got that one out. It needs to be the other one, Walkery. So Saturn does its search first. Okay, does get an event there. Equilibrium event. 1 cost 3k counter in hand. You want to get rid of that GARP or leave it on board now? That's the question.
I
Is
think
that
at
extra
this
card
point
in
in
your hand?
time, it's not worthwhile. This is the issue. Like
Yeah,
maybe if Emu was sitting stronger, where it wasn't put in and had such a wide hand, probably not worth trashing a card for now.
yeah, absolutely. That extra
Albeit,
card in hand is probably more advantageous.
and we just see the pass freed on up.
Yeah,
We find the Iron Whitebeard, which could mean we know he had a 9-beard in hand. We could be seeing Ace going to 10k this turn. He's sitting on 2 life.
yep,
Very, very strong place to be to force himself down to 1 life now and be a 10k swing.
very much so, yeah.
And obviously, it would still leave him with 2 Don up, which means he could attach one to his leader, or he could play out an Uta. Because albeit she does say 6 cost on the card, when you've got a 10 cost on board, you do -4 to her cost.
Yeah. Well, it was 1 Don up, wasn't it? Because he used the 1 to play the GARP
Oh,
out. So,
yes,
yeah.
that says it. So, yes.
Yep. So it'll be 1 Don. But as you say, could still utilize the 1 Don.
Be an 11k swing, though, this turn. Very
Yeah.
big.
So 2 rested Don underneath that GARP that was left on the board. Starting off
With the 10.
10k swing into life.
I'll also mention this is Moltris's last blocker beard because he pitched one on the first blocker.
Yep.
So he's very much going second, doing all that card draw, being access to see all his big, beautiful Rogers, and being able to apply this pressure here, as you said, 5k with the GARP, the 10k with the leader, and then 2 12ks. Really, really now putting it to Dan 9.
Yep. And he scoops up, did counter out of that, but did decide to scoop up, and we have now got the win for Moltres, and Ace takes game 2. So we are 1 game each. We are 15 minutes left on the clock.
Will we see a masterclass from Moltres like we did with Jared in the last round where he was forced to go first and win off curve? Can Moltres do the same? Or will Dan 9 steer Emu to victory doing what the 5 elders do best on curve?
Yeah, let's see how this one plays out. So we do see a GARP search to begin with, going first with our ace player as we anticipated. Does have options. We do see a Roger in hand there. Josie being added to the hand now. And that'll be a pass of turn. Back over to our Emu player now. Turn 1 on 2. Gets to search. We'll see 3 cards going into the trash. Which one are you going to take at this stage? It's going to be a Charlia. Being able to then use that as well or not? Do you want to get that event into your hand? There is obviously 5 elders there as well. So there are choices to be made here early on in this game.
Very much so. And these are, and we discussed this before, I think yesterday afternoon. These micro decisions on what cards you take in draws sometimes are so important because you might take that event now, but then you search again in a second and that's all you see.
Yeah,
And you regret it. Or, you know, you take another piece and it's all you see in life and when you draw at the start of your turn. And it can be very frustrating. So sometimes just really having to think about those searches can make such a difference. But we see a
yeah,
trigger here from life, allowing for another search.
yep, absolutely. But what this is going to mean is what card did he take there? Was not 100% sure. I think he did take.
Another counter event?
Did he take another counter event? I think so, maybe. But what that does mean is that 2 of his 10 cost elders are in trash now.
Does that mean we may see a Shirahoshi again,
Yeah,
like we saw yesterday afternoon? Shirahoshi
yeah,
putting in so much work when there was 2 on board as well, Taj. They were amazing.
absolutely. So we do leader effects and go digging again and pass the turn. Again, let's see what our ace player can do here now. Does drop the pudding. So that
It
hand
is
is
very
being
smart.
reset. Yeah, being reset very early on after doing those searches. How many searches did we have fire off? One off the life, a couple of other searches as well. We obviously had the Saturn come down and do a search as well.
But Moltres
Turn,
knows there's 2 5 elders in trash, meaning that he must have some in hand if he's willing to let 2 go to trash. So
yeah,
knowing now that 2's gone to trash and still such a big deck, statistically, you're gonna it's gonna be a lot harder now to find those other 2 5 elders.
absolutely. Let's see, what does he draw into? He does find one event. And he has got a Shalria Searcher there as well. So can go digging for pieces here if need be. And it looks like, was that a Saturn or not? I'm not too sure.
This is where Ace can be very dangerous because yes, you've played the putting out at 5 Don, but at the minute you have a 7 Don turn and a 9 Don turn coming up where your curve's not always going to be great. A 9 Don, obviously, we're going to be wanting to look to play Iron Whitebeard, but if we see now some good pieces coming again off these searches, you could play Jozu this 7 Don turn, bounce that put in, play it again on 9. Cause all sorts of trouble for the IMU player here going second.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see the leader ability being fired off there as well. Mars being trashed in order to draw a card. And then he does pass over with 1 Don left open. Again, now it's going to be trying to find those pieces on curve. Pudding definitely has disrupted this game for sure. Can Dan find one of his 2 remaining 5 elders from that deck?
There's a reason, Taj, why in EBO2 she got given an SP. Best card in format. Disrupts
Absolutely.
everyone. Disrupts
Absolutely.
everyone.
So 6k swing coming in to begin with. Is he going to counter out of this one? No, decides to take it. We do see a Jozu coming down. Picking up both Garp and the pudding.
And that's the versatility of Jozu there. Because the ability to be able to bounce one of your characters, to bounce one of your characters, because a lot of people in this matchup just go, Jozu's pointless. You're not going to be able to bounce anything from Emu's board. But you've got 1 card from your hand to take 2 cards back. You play 1 out, which gives you a search. You've
Yep,
technically gone +2 there.
exactly. And a lot of people forget Jozu is, yeah, you do have to pick one of your cards up, but the second part of the wording is return up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less to the owner's hand. It doesn't specify which owner, so you can target yourself as well as your opponent as well. So as you say, the versatility is quite good in this particular matchup. So Dan now digging for more pieces. Uses leader effect to trash the Mars. Gets a Jupiter out now using stage effect. Making all characters plus 7,000 base power. Do you want to
Do
commit
we
any
see
Don
any
to this?
Don? Exactly that.
Yeah. 7 into life. 2k counter. Another 7 into life. Leader effect. Trashing a Roger.
We see the War Curry coming down.
Yep.
Very strong play because, as we said, Emu here has gone down to 2 life, and whether that's from the early pudding or not, once again, it's still a really good place for our 8th player here, having him down to 2 life the turn before he's going to hit his 5 elders.
Yeah,
And still
absolutely.
here, he has the ability to have a 7 and a 6k before doing any Don addition. So
Yeah.
do we see I Am Whitebeard, or do we see a pudding making an appearance?
This is what Maltese is trying to decide now. 7k swing, is that going to be enough? Do I commit any more? So, right, 7k into Saturn. Dan, can I allow this one to go? Or, yep, allows the Saturn to go.
Bear in mind, 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
Is very tight for both players. They have to adapt their game style slightly to this pressured time.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely know Dan has got 4 pieces. Has he got Nuzjaro in the trash as well? Just needs to find that Elder. I'm not sure if he's got the Elder in hand or not. But next turn should be able to fire it off.
Would be a very rough term, Taj, if he does not have a Nusajura in there. One of the most strongest cards when playing out the 5 elders.
Oh, absolutely.
Immediately having the rush.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, like being able to give that Jozu minus 2,000 power, for example, and then being able to swing into it with additional Don with a 7k swing plus whatever Don you commit to it would definitely be very powerful. But what are we going to see here now? So we see the Yamato being played and a 7k swing into Saturn now.
Very telegraphing the fact that Pudding should be coming down here, I think.
Yeah,
4 Don left open.
Yep. We saw it being bounced back into hand last turn. Well,
ooh,
nope.
Ezo instead.
Going searching for pieces now.
Is he looking for those Iron Whitebeards?
Gets another Jozu. And at this point, you've got 3 Don left open. You pass the turn because you can't swing with anything else. Now, these elders are all 7,000 power each. Start off with a 7k swing. Do you have the counters? And are you going to dwindle those hands down? So, leader effect being used. Trashing the Zorro.
Now, this is a very smart play because most ace players only run 2 Rogers, but as we know from seeing the open list, he runs 3. So at this point, you might think, cool, they're open list and our opponents have seen the information, but going into game 3, at this point, that may have been forgotten, and he would think, I've seen 2 Rogers in trash. That's all he's got now.
Yeah. You're right. 8k swing coming in. Leader effect's already been used. So starting off with, oof, that's so nice, isn't it? Izu effect to get you a 2k counter is exactly what you want to see, and now has the ability to be able to counter out of this attack with just 2 cards. Going to see another 8k swing coming into life now. Do you have? Oh, he concedes. It looks like Moltres has conceded there. And we have Dan going through to our semi-final. Decides to scoop up, just thinks there wasn't enough. He was just like, my hand's not got what I need. With all the pressure you're applying, I'm not going to be able to win here. And wow,